Genius is a flower of great rarity that grows in the most unlikely places. Recognition of genius is an accolade that usually becomes a posthumous award. Certainly, this is true of the man called simply O.Henry, master of the tale with a twist, and one of the greatest storytellers of all time. The O.Henry Playhouse, dramatizing some of the most diverting stories ever told.
In the populous, magical world of O.Henry, there are no blacks and whites, only shades of something very much warmer than grey. Criminals he knew as men, as fellow prisoners, in fact. Some innocent, most guilty, all clothed in flesh and blood. For O.Henry, a study in pure evil was a rarity, which makes this story very rare indeed. He called it, enigmatically, The Marionettes.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Really, I do believe you're the only one in the world who truly understands me.
Well, then, you must do exactly as I tell you, mustn't you, Mrs. Barlow?
Oh, I shall. Truly I shall.
Splendid, and not merely in the medical sense.
The medical sense?
Take my advice and keep those magnificent jewels of yours in a properly constructed and efficient safe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I shall. In fact, I make inquiries about the best possible safe tomorrow.
Splendid. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, have I been here so long? How wicked of me.
Oh, not at all. But I'm afraid I still have one patient waiting, so if I may be excused.
But of course, dear Dr. Boyd. You have been too kind. Just too kind.
Oh, thank heavens that's over. Nurse, it's getting late. You needn't stay any longer this evening. Just send in the next patient and then get along home.
Oh, thank you, Doctor. Are you sure?
No, I can manage now. Just send Mr. Vanetti in. Her name is Barlow, Vanetti. Mrs. Barlow.
Miss, no matter. These women are all fools. We will do the job before she changes the safe, yes?
No. After.
After? But surely...
She'll certainly let me know, at considerable length, which brand she chooses and why, and where it's located, which will save us both considerable effort.
You are right, as always, Doctor.
I'd be obliged if you'd remove the implied inverted commas from around my title, Vanetti.
Oh, but my dear Doctor, I well know that you are qualified, at least under your real name. But you are also disbarred under your real name, is it not so?
An act of sheer stupidity and injustice. It was never proved that I was an associate of criminals.
Oh, come. Both you and I, being associated, are the associates of criminals, are we not?
My secondary profession never affected my function as an extremely able doctor, nor does it do so now. I make it a rule to give my full attention to whichever profession I'm engaged in at a given moment.
And hence your success at both. Oh, what a man you are.
Thank you, Vanetti.
A pity that you've been forced to move about such a lot these past few years.
I have no intentions of moving from my present practice. And if we continue to be discreet, efficient, and mutually loyal, Vanetti...
Oh, but of course.
I see no reason why difficulties should ever arise. And now, tonight's coup.
Ah, yes.
What I think we should do is this. 896, 97, roughly 6,000. A little disappointing for the takings of a biggish store.
I won't quarrel with it for an hour or two's work. Give me my share and we will separate at once.
Here. Roughly 2,000.
Thank you, Boyd.
And mine, roughly 3.
If your patients could see what your immaculate bag contains, the jemmies and the drills, side by side with the hypodermic and the takings, 3,000 in crisp notes.
Yes. Well, I shall leave first. Give me a moment before you follow.
Of course. Arrivederci, until I hear from you.
I shall call you. Not my office next time. Now, a count of 100, please, before you follow me.
Good night, Doctor.
Good night. Be careful as you leave. Everything's gone splendidly so far. We don't want any trouble now.
Hey, you there.
Yes?
Well, just one moment, if you don't mind.
Oh, by all means, Constable.
Pretty late to be out walking, isn't it, sir?
Yes, quite so, Constable. Late hours are one thing both our professions have in common. My card.
Oh, doctor, are you, sir?
I was called to a casual patient whose house I had trouble finding. I'm just walking back to where I left my car.
Dr. James Calvin Boyd. Well, I'm sorry to have troubled you, sir. Orders are to be extra careful. Been a lot of burglaries around here.
No need to apologize, Constable. I must say it's very reassuring from a householder's point of view.
Now, don't you worry, Miss Helen. I'll find one, I promise I
I
will.
wonder what that's all about. Can I help you, Mum?
Oh, Constable, we're in such trouble. We need a doctor and our telephone's been... Well, I mean, it isn't working.
Oh, doctor, eh? Well, now, it just so happens this gentleman's...
This gentleman's a doctor? Oh, thank goodness. It's almost a miracle. Well, that is, if you are a doctor, sir.
Oh, yes, I'm a doctor. Can I, be of some assistance?
Oh, thank you, sir. It's Mr. Chandler.
Mr. Chandler?
Miss Helen's husband. He's lying like he was dead, sir.
Well, if you'll excuse us, officer.
Yes, a bit of luck, wasn't it, sir? You being here and all.
Yes. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Now, tell me what's happened to your master.
Well, he'd been out, sir. Came in late, just a while ago. Been drinking, same as always. You can smell it, you know.
Open the front door, Nanny, and tell me what happened to the patient.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Well, so far as I could see, sir, he just fell down clutching at his heart, so to speak, just a while ago. Up these stairs, sir.
Oh, yes. Clutching at his heart, eh? How old is he?
Oh, he wouldn't be more than 30, sir. And Miss Helen, she's no more than 21. Oh, he's handsome, I'll not deny that.
All right, Nanny. Just point out the room to me and wait till I call you.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm sorry. I never spoke a word against him before, but tonight, well, it was just too much, so to speak.
Nanny, is that you?
Yes, my lamb, and I've brought you a doctor.
So quickly. Oh, I'm so grateful, Doctor. Please, this way.
Is the patient in bed, Mrs.
Chandler, he fell across the bed. I'm so afraid. He's lying so still. Well, I took off his shoes, but... Is he dead, Doctor?
If you'll just wait outside, Mrs. Chandler. You're a little upset.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
No, not at all. I must have perfect quiet, you understand?
Yes, of course.
I'll call you in a moment. Mitral regurgitation. Mitral insufficiency. Mrs. Chandler,
Yes, Doctor.
is your husband subject to heart attacks?
Before we were married, about 2 years ago, I believe there was an attack. Perhaps more than one.
Go on, Mrs. Chandler.
Well, he was told to live quietly, but he enjoyed... Doctor, is he still alive?
He's alive, but there's a pronounced mitral insufficiency. And I'm afraid you must prepare yourself for the worst.
Oh, no.
I'll do all I can. The situation is never hopeless.
Please don't let him die in bitterness and hate.
Nurse. Nanny.
I'm sorry. He said awful things that he doesn't mean. I know he doesn't.
Miss Helen.
He isn't all bad, he isn't.
There, lean on me, my lamb.
Get her to bed. She's obviously near collapse. I'll come to her as soon as I can.
Oh, thank you. And bless you, Doctor, bless you. Come along, my lamb.
She's exhausted.
Who wouldn't be?
Well, I've given her a sedative. When she wakes, give her a toddy with an egg in it. She looks to me as if she needs a good solid meal.
That she does, sir.
How did she get that bruise on her forehead?
She fell, sir. No, she didn't. I'm not going to lie for him. He did it, sir. He hit her. And then the good Lord struck him down.
It's a very sad face for so young and beautiful a girl.
Oh, Doctor, if I could only tell you.
If there's any change in her condition, call me at once.
Oh, I shall, sir. I shall.
I'll be with your master. Mr. Chandler, I know you're conscious, but don't try to speak.
Doctor.
Yes, I'm a doctor. Your wife sent me to look after you.
Closer. Come closer.
I'm listening. But I must warn you, the effect, the effort of talking could...
The money.
Money?
20,000.
There's something you want to tell me about a sum of 20,000 pounds?
Tell her.
Your wife?
Tell.
Where is this money you wish me to tell your wife about, Mr. Chandler? Is it in the bank?
It's her money.
The 20,000 pounds is your wife's money? And you want me to tell her where it is? Is that it? Is it that you put it somewhere difficult to find? In this room, Mr. Chandler? Yes, I think in this room. Now, if you can tell me where... Mr. Chandler. Unconscious. There isn't much time. Annie!
Yes, sir?
Come here, please. Mrs. Chandler will sleep for some hours unless she's disturbed.
The master, sir.
No, he isn't. Tell me, is there anyone else in this house?
No, sir. Just him and Miss Helen and me.
And me?
Oh, yes, sir. Praise be for that.
Unfortunately, I haven't the medicine with me that I need. I want you to take this prescription and have it filled.
But, sir, the chemists, they're nearly all closed.
Then you must try to find one that's open. And hurry, Nanny.
I don't like to leave Miss Helen, sir.
Your mistress will be perfectly all right, I told you. She'll sleep for hours.
But, sir...
Come, be off with you. I must have that prescription made up. Now be quick, Nanny. There's not a minute to spare.
I'll be as quick as ever I can, Doctor.
Get a taxi if you have to. Mr. Chandler. Mr. Chandler. Quite unconscious. Now, the syringe.
Less than 2 hours before, with the same syringe and the same faint yellowish liquid which the doctor now carefully measures, he had destroyed with one dull explosion the lock of a safe. He proposes now with the same means to shatter the prime machinery of a human being for the sake of the money to follow. Same means, but in a different guise. For the nitroglycerine he now dilutes into a solution of glonoine, producing the most powerful heart stimulant known to medical science. First, a quick increase of vitality, a powerful impetus to every faculty. But, as the disbarred doctor knows, overstimulation in this form of heart disease means death, as sure as by a gunshot. This easy, skillful injection into the heart muscles is murder.
Well, Mr. Chandler, feeling better now?
Who are you?
We met a little while ago, Mr. Chandler. I'm a doctor. Your wife sent for me.
My wife? Where is my wife?
She's asleep. I'm afraid she's worn out by exhaustion and worry. I'd rather not wake her unless you insist.
No, it isn't necessary. She wouldn't thank you to disturb her on my account.
You mustn't tax your strength, Mr. Chandler.
Why not? Aren't I going to die?
You mustn't give up hope either.
Not a bad bedside manner, Doctor.
Mr. Chandler, I repeat, you must save your energy and your breath. And if something is worrying you, I hope you'll let me help you relieve your mind.
What should be worrying me, Doctor?
A little while ago, you were trying very hard to tell me something. It was something about a sum of money.
I said something about money?
Your wife's money, I think you said.
What else did I say before I lost consciousness?
Not very much. Now, please, don't tire yourself, Mr. Chandler. If you're worried about the safety of this money, as you seem to be, perhaps I can help to relieve your mind.
Did I say where this money is, Doctor?
Oh, no. You merely asked me to tell your wife about it. £20,000, I believe it was. Would that be correct?
20,000.
If the money is in this room.
Yes, Doctor.
I don't want to force your confidence unless you wish to give it, Mr. Chandler.
Naturally. Where else should the money be but in the safe? There.
There? Oh, of course. Behind the picture.
Yes.
Behind the picture, eh?
I see you're going to check, Doctor.
Yes, I'm going to check. What is this? The safe's empty. It's empty. Where's the money, Chandler?
It's safe. Perfectly safe.
Where is it?
In the hands of the bookmakers. I've lost it all, Doctor. That's what I wanted you to tell her.
I see.
I've been a pretty bad boy, but compared with you, I've been a gambler, a drunk, most things, but a doctor burglar. That's something new.
Look at me, Chandler. Look at me and listen.
What?
I, too, have been and done most things. But I never yet hit a woman.
Doctor!
Come in.
Oh, I got it, Doctor. The medicine
It's too late. Your master's dead.
Oh. Well, he's in God's hands now. God will judge the transgressor.
I'll write you a certificate, and then I must be getting along. You can call me tomorrow.
That poor lamb. What's to become of her?
Do I understand that Mrs. Chandler has no money?
Money? She's half starved, sir. That's why she's so weak.
But this house...
Rented, sir, with everything in it. The phone cut off and notice to quit. And all the debts. Oh, I could tell you, sir. But you shouldn't speak ill of the dead, sir, should you? He went through everything. Everything she had. And then there was an inheritance, sir. £20,000. He got that out of her, too, by a trick. She wanted to believe him, sir. Believe he loved her and would become a man for her. He disappeared, sir, for 6 months. And tonight he came back.
Is there any brandy in the house?
Yes, a little. He brought it.
Now do as I tell you. Prepare a toddy. Wake your mistress and have her drink it. When she's strong enough, tell her what happened in your own way. And then I'll talk to her.
Yes, sir, I'll do that, sir. Oh, you're good, Doctor. You're so good.
Be quick. Do exactly what I've told you.
There now, drink it up, my lamb.
Rob's dead. I feel nothing. I don't feel anything.
And why should you feel anything?
Oh, it's terrible not to feel, Nanny. It's terrible to feel nothing. Not even grief.
Miss Helen.
Oh, who's that? Nanny, what time is it?
It's nearly day, Miss Helen. Now, don't you worry. I'll see to it. You rest now. I'll see to everything. You just rest, my lamb. Oh, Doctor. You startled me. You've got your case. Are you leaving, sir?
Someone's at the front door.
Yes, I know. I'll go, sir. Perhaps it's the constable, sir, come to see if everything's all right.
Constable? Oh, the one who spoke to me outside.
He spoke to me again when I was coming back with the medicine, sir. Very kind he was. Oh, it is. It's the constable, sir. The master's dead. It was too late. The doctor's done everything he can.
Is the doctor still here?
Yes, actually, I'm just leaving, Mr.
Detective Inspector Bridges, Scotland Yard, sir.
Scotland Yard?
All right, Constable, I'll take over now.
Scotland Yard? Whatever next?
I'd advise you to come quietly, sir. You've got the back of the house covered, too.
I don't understand. Obviously, there's some mistake, Inspector. I'm Dr. Boyd. Here. My card.
You can forget all about that, Doctor. Vanetti was arrested leaving the store.
I assure you, I haven't the least idea what you're talking about, Inspector.
He got pretty talkative just a while ago. Fortunately, we've located you quickly through the constable.
Look, there's obviously some tiresome mistake here, Inspector. It's been a long day, and an even longer night. Now, if you let me pass...
It's a disgrace, that's what it is. If you policemen knew what the doctor's done tonight for them in this house...
Yes, we'll be looking into what the doctor's done in this house tonight. Now, if you don't mind, sir.
You can't be serious, Inspector. I mean, the whole thing's fantastic.
Oh, I'm serious, sir.
Oh, Doctor.
Miss Helen! Don't you dare say a word about all this to Miss Helen, Inspector.
Oh, Doctor, before you go,
Yes, Mrs. Chandler.
I don't know how to thank you for all... Who are all these people?
Well, these gentlemen are friends of mine, Mrs. Chandler. And the constable looked in to see if he could help.
Oh, I see. How kind.
I'm so pleased to have a chance to speak to you before I go, Mrs. Chandler. Your husband left a message with me for you.
A message?
Yes. He sent you his love and asked for your forgiveness.
Oh.
His last thoughts were of you. I thought you'd like to know that.
Thank you, Doctor.
Most of all, he seemed to regret squandering your last inheritance. Everything with the exception of £3,000, which he told me you'd find in the safe in the bedroom. Oh, he gave me the combination and asked me to be quite sure you got the money safely.
Rob.
The combination is set on 41. Can you remember that, Mrs. Chandler? 41. Turn several times to the right and then once to the left. He was sorry there was so little to leave there, but hoped that it would at least clear your debts and give you some sort of a fresh start.
I can feel again. I can feel again.
There, poor lamb.
I was right about him, Nanny.
Yes, my lamb, you were right.
Oh, Doctor. Doctor, how can I ever thank you?
Don't even try. Now, if you'll forgive me, I must go along with my friends here.
The world of O.Henry was a fascinating forum in which the poor and the wealthy, the sad and the gay rubbed shoulders in the most diverting fashion. Each had a story to tell. This was one of them, brought to you in the O.Henry Playhouse. This was an Artransa production, dramatized by Kay Keavney and produced by Jim Bradley.